First task complete. Motorcycle is out. Now then. Task number 2. That's the time things start. Okay. Fuel on. Choke as far as it will go out. Mirrors up. Ish. Yeah, okay. It's best you'll do then. Let's see. Push it in just a notch so it doesn't flood. My brake light on permanently. No, it isn't. There you go. It's just super bright. The other brake. Yeah, that works a treat too. Not bad, seeing as I haven't started her since end of November. I've got to remember this is not a high performance vehicle. Mostly in the braking department because the knobbly tyres. Oh yeah, you can't trust that front. You cannot trust that front tyre at all. There's a lot of rear braking on this bike. Those front knobbles lock up on the road at a moment's notice. So on the Speed 4, I hardly use the rear brake at all, just for slow speed stuff. Go into a final halt at traffic lights, slow speed manoeuvring around car park, that sort of thing. It all happens at the front end, because let's face it, when the rear's in the air, the rear brake isn't very effective. When you're on a DRZ, or in fact any off-road bike, with knobbly tyres, you're not going to get the rear in the air, okay? It's just not going to happen. Doesn't matter how good your front brakes are. Just don't forget, front brakes on this I completely reconditioned and put steel cylinders in to replace the Bakelite ones. So it's a pretty good brake, you know, with a road tyre on, it's pretty good. But with knobblies on, it's not the brake that's the problem, it's the tyre. And those little knobbles have such reduced contact area with the road. They're great off-road. I can get the rear of this bike up on the trail. So on a dirt track, or on an unsealed road as they call them over here, I can get the rear end of the bike up with a sharp application of the front. Because the knobbles just dig in, but on the road it's a totally different experience. Kinda scary. How the riding dynamics change radically. You get used to it. It's fine, just leave more of a gap. Look out for idiots more often. And now fog. Remember when I said that my brake light I thought was on, but it was actually just a really bright rear light? I remember now, I replaced it for an LED one. And now I'm glad, because I don't have a fog light. So I guess the question is, what the hell are you doing on the DRZ when you're commuting to work? The answer is not, I'm going for a nice trail ride in the evening, because it's the winter and it's dark. So the issue is that when I said I'd solved the electricity problem with the Speed 4, I lied. I have not. And regrettably, my girlfriend needs a car today, so I am commuting on the Dizzer. So the sit-rep is the stator burnout again. Just one coil this time. And when I got the replacement to replace it, it was the same variety. And I thought, well, let's just check. So I did a full check of it before putting it in the bike. It's full electrical check. Made sure everything was the correct resistance and nothing was grounded to earth, and it was all good. I was getting about 1.5 ohms between the coils and nothing was grounded. That's splendid, as it should be. Then I mounted it to the engine casing that it sticks on, and I decided to check it again, and it was bleeding earthed straight to the engine casing. So I was like, what the fuck, how did that happen? So I took it off, and I discovered that there was a load of scratch marks on the uppermost coil. And it was just like, well, I'm sure I'd have noticed these before I put it in. I'm sure this must be something that I've done to it. But I could not work out for my life what I'd done, because basically I'd put the thing over where it's supposed to mount, hovered over it and plonked it into position. But yeah, I'd managed to trap a wire somehow, and it had obviously connected with some metal stuff. So I thought, well, how could that happen? So I did it again. I put it back on. Nothing, it was fine. And I put it on, took it off and put it on again about, must have been 8 or 10 times. And one other time, it was grounded to earth. One other time. So obviously they're just a bit finicky. Now I had a look underneath, and that's where all the wiring happens. And on this model, all the wiring stands proud of the rim of the stator. Whereas on the original Triumph stator, all that wiring bit happens at the front, and the back end is nice and clean, and there's no way you could trap anything. So instead of setting the stator back and saying this is a crap design, and P.S. I'm an idiot, I've just put a bit of JB Weld high temperature epoxy on the affected area, and moreover, liven things up a bit, I've put it around the rim as well, the bit that's exposed, the bit that looks like it could easily catch, and that Triumph had made sure you can't do that on. Well, I've covered that up as well. So it's all nicely JB Weld-ed. I'm going to let that set. Now then, one thing I did do, which is a most important point, is I thought that, well, the tolerances here are quite close. I don't want to JB Weld this up and then come back when it's fully set and not be able to put the damn thing back in because I've got a whacking great amount of epoxy resin in the way. So I let it set a bit until it was a bit harder than, say, plasticine. You could put your fingernails in it. It wasn't fully set. And I remounted it, tightened it down, untightened it, pulled it off again, and sure enough, there are some nice little dents in the epoxy resin where it was a little bit too much. So I carved them away a bit, did the mounting trick again, and it's fine. So this weekend I'm going to bung it back on the bike, put in new oil filter. I have replaced the wiring loom from the stator to the regulator rectifier. So I need to put that back in, and then we'll see if the bloody thing works. I am optimistic. Looks pretty good.